we've got ourselves Soniqs at 155, E-United at 153, 2 points separated. Then down behind that, Wildcard at 128, 22 at 127.
Yep.
And it's still so neck and neck, as just behind that is going to be Luminosity at 123. This is just a game or two can separate and really define this leaderboard. If somebody can manage to run away with just one game, they can finally get some distance.
Yeah, especially as you said, between that like third to like fifth, sixth spot. I mean, a really big game, especially. I mean, even if you look at a team like Soniqs United and they happen to kind of falter in a game or two, which happens to everyone, right? That's actually the perfect opportunity. Handsome and talented are the words I would use to describe our observers.
Well, looks like Hello My Bad has some thoughts about Roth, and Roth is going to go down. Colton is going to get picked up by Mime. But BBB should be able to potentially rally on this one.
Roth's gone. No, that's very unfortunate.
Is that the secret? Is
Maybe
that what really need to happen here?
Talking about, I mean, this is a very interesting split, though, from Soniqs, only because it is very crashable, but we'll see what they can do with it. I mean, if any team's going to hold that split, it's Soniqs.
Yeah, you can see Guri having some trouble coming in off this one. Rumbler's doing a good job on trying to hold up. Peak going to be right at, because I guess they threw themselves right in between Peak as we're looking through. I do want to point out as well, 22 is trying to hold off what's going on to the north. Wildcard's trying to aggress into that area. BBB running the split up to the north of it.
Trog's biggest issue here is actually going to be LG, though. It's not going to be 22.
So now, yeah, I mean, with the verticality of it, nobody wants to step up and look down that hill.
I mean, Vinny is, though. Vinny has actually found himself much closer than I thought anyone would get, and that's a free knock.
Rusty Zero did not expect that. We didn't expect that.
They needed to watch that, but
coming up from Vinny. What is Gizera going to do? Is that going to be a follow-up off of it? Trogloditas now having to defend up their position, and that's allowed some other rotations to be a lot easier than we saw just a moment ago. Posa trying to bring his teammate to some form of safety. Meanwhile, Synergy getting that vision into TX rotation that we were talking about before, and Peak Rumblers still have yet to move, but probably moving on a similar vector.
But what's happened here?
Apparently, we have two members still trying to make a play happen over here. Tokyo Manji Gang.
Adam's about to find it.
Still just trying to hold on to it. Knows where the flashbangs are coming out from.
On top.
Shotgun tries to go out. Gets some damage, but it's going to be a 1-2 punch. Greg Shot on the other side of it. Hell, my bad. Does manage to take down Adam. But it's going to be Greg Shot living it up, getting the Greg Shot, and also going to be able to res Adam.
That's actually big. They're actually able to take control of that compound. But look at this. Rumblers and Guri on the eastern edge.
I was not expecting this one to line up the way that it is.
No.
Rumblers having to stop here is bad news, though.
Show, unfortunately, is going to bleed out. He took shots while he was down. Rumblers will, for the most part, find something to play on the east just for now. Circle getting ready to shift, and as you can see, Matt, all the chaos is starting to ensue.
He is putting in some more work for SG. I like this off position that he plays, and very quick to always try to third party on a good angle. That's one of the things we're starting to see success come out from Pippa.
Yes.
And specifically also
Synergy in general, yeah.
Luminosity looks like they are going to move back in as really LG kind of doing what LG does, roaming around that edge position, using the information and trying to counter move around it. But it's going to be Pippa, who is aware of what's going on and should be able to spot Waldo in a second. But
yeah, Waldo and the rest of Rumblers are just getting shredded by Soniqs. Waldo did find a knock on a Selzen, but they should be able to recover that just fine. And
they're not always the flashiest of teams, but they're starting to develop this level of consistency.
Exactly. Their consistency is something that I'm really starting to love. And the performances, again, each one of the members on that team is bringing to the table is wonderful.
Quick exchange fire between Trogloditas and Fiumba. Going to go ahead and have 4 PM join in as well. And maybe the last one up, just trying to use some type of cover to get away from Trogloditas, who have now started to get harassed at range by 4 PM. The problem is, Emmy doesn't have anywhere to go. He looks down and sees LG take some shots and now has to retreat away from there. Maybe now moving back into Trog's sightline. I mean, he's just
they need to get rid of Emmy now. Perfect. And now they can move up to the next ridge right across from them, because if they try to make that cross later, it's going to be hell, especially with 4 PM already looking at them.
Speaking of stuck, man, BBB is just in an oven over there. There is no way to get out. Vehicles exploding around them. They are in the safe zone. They've got 4 PM that's back behind them, but
they have that.
They just have to try to cling to life. Oddly enough, though, with BBB making the push into that position has drawn a lot of attention to where 4 PM is playing from, so kind of giving them a reprieve on a different angle. To the south, though, it's about to get dicey. We've got Troglodytes, LG, TX, all moving into a similar area, and remember, Synergy, who's been roaming around to the south, also realizing what's going to be happening, trying to move in, while United trying to make a roll to the north, literally with their vehicles, and they're going to go down. And now Soniqs finds another opportunity to pick up some distance from United.
Soniqs is now completely isolated on the east, and now this is the fight that I was talking about. This is what Trog needed to do. They needed to get up to this hill and try to take as much control, but Klausera is going to find a knock out of Purdy, and that changes his fight. A possible recovery here for Posa and the rest of Trog.
The hills are alive with the sounds of gunfire as LG crests the top of that hill and suddenly finds everybody looking their direction. They still have TX just on the opposite side of him, but put himself in a precarious position. 4 PM does have vision on this, but really just kind of hanging out over there, realizing the fact that this run is going to be rough. Troglodytes, though, making the counter move down to the south, finally realizing how they're wanting to assault into LG's position. Are we going to see LG manage to defend this one up? There you go. Trying to get out the utility. Troglodytes does not want to overcommit into the stage, stepping down. But while this is going to be happening to the south, you can see that there's still going to be a firefight going on between SG. LG does a great job on defending that up. And you can see that Synergy wanted to jump in. They wanted to third party that, but it was just too fast.
The problem, though, is that now Soniqs have had so much time to take control. That's exactly what they're going to do. They can suffocate the circle by simply just wrapping south on the edge. And so for all the teams on the west, great, you've held off all the threats. But realistically, it's Soniqs now just coming to feast.
And now we have an MPL circle at the start that's going to lead into a tried and true Soniqs on the east, Luminosity on the west, and we've got TX just trying to survive. Synergy as well. Soniqs starting to make their push in. It's going to be H1 that spots out Sand, going to take him down. Now just 4 teams remaining. It's going to be a 4-man strong Soniqs.
So much control. Soniqs has so much control of this circle now because of all that fighting that happened in the southwest.
This is all relying on a third-party game of chicken right now.
LG's desperately wants Soniqs to make a move, but I don't think they are. I mean, they know exactly what they have control of, and that's basically the entirety of this zone. So they're just going to let LG make the play and then probably go off the punish. Penta now going low. They're going to find multiple members now of SG. It's just down to Pippa.
Oh, steps back through, managed to hold the line slightly, looks into it, does manage to make it harder for Luminosity, who's sitting on 10 kills now, but it is going to be a full-on Soniqs swarming down the hillside after him. Penta trying to hold the lineup, a reposition coming out from Luke 12 to see if he can get a new angle. H1 for Soniqs already taking control over the circle. Penta going for some peeks back, but realizing the fact he is going to get swarmed. He is surrounded everywhere. It's just a matter of time until Mime spots him out, and is it going to be enough? Did Luke 12 manage to reposition rightly, get some shots out, does get a knock, but it is going to be Soniqs with 10 kills of their own, taking the second game.
I pray my dick get big as the Eiffel Tower, so I can fuck the world for 72 hours. Goddamn.